This West African woman said that she waited until marriage to have sex, only to get an incurable disease from her husband. Now, when I heard this story, it reminded me of that lady that waited until she was damn near 30 to have sex, only to be left as a single mother. Now, to be clear, I'm not here to debate people's wins, but everybody has a different timeline. I do want to discuss how so many women are victims of purity culture and how the patriarchy uses it as a form of control. You already know what time it is. Story time. Let's go ahead and get into it. She grew up in a strict religious household where purity was seen as everything. No dating, no touching, no being alone with men. Her virginity was treated like the most valuable thing she could offer a husband. She was taught that if she stayed pure, if she waited, if she did everything right, God would bless her with a good marriage. That was the promise. Like, that was her understanding of things. So she waited through her 20s while her friends were dating, exploring relationships. She stayed focused on her faith and her future. When she finally met him at 32, he seemed like the answer to her prayers. He was from a good family, respected in their community, involved in the church. He talked about marriage, about building a life together, about honoring God. So when he proposed, her family was thrilled. This was what she had been waiting for. Proof that her patience and purity had been worth it. They got married. And on their wedding night, she gave herself to him. A few months into the marriage, she started feeling sick. Painful symptoms she couldn't ignore. When she finally went to the doctor, they ran tests. That's when she learned the heartbreaking news. She had herpes too. She was confused, devastated. How could this happen? She'd been a virgin. She'd done everything right. The only person that she'd ever been with was her husband. And when she confronted him, y'all, he admitted it super nonchalantly. He knew before they got married, and he never told her. He said that he thought it wasn't a big deal, that lots of people have it, and that she was overreacting. He minimized it, dismissed her pain, made her feel like she was being dramatic for being upset, that he'd infected her with an incurable disease without her knowledge or her consent. The part that really broke her, when she told her family and some of the members of her church what happened, hoping for support, they turned their back on her. They asked her what she had done to make him feel like he couldn't be honest. They said marriage is about forgiveness, that she needed to pray about it, that divorce wasn't an option over something like this. Some even suggested that maybe this was God's way of teaching her humility. This woman had spent her entire life being told that her virginity was her power and her protection, that if she saved herself, she'd be safe, that purity was a shield against harm, disease, and betrayal. But all it did was leave her vulnerable. She had no sexual education beyond just don't do it, no knowledge of STIs, how they were spread, what questions to even ask her partner. She was taught that if she did everything right, she would be protected. But no one prepared her for what happens when the person you trust doesn't do right by you. Now, one thing I will say is that, like, you're a grown adult at your big age, the responsibility does fall on you to educate yourself on certain things. Paska, you can't just leave that to, you just can't leave that to chance. You have to make sure you're educating yourself on some of these things. But I digress. Let's keep going. She filed for divorce, and even that was a battle. People called her selfish. They said that she wasn't trying hard enough, that she was breaking up a marriage over something that could be managed. But she knew that she couldn't stay with someone who'd stolen her choice, her health, and her future. Looking back, she says that the hardest part wasn't even the disease itself. It's the realization that everything that she was taught around purity culture was for the benefit of men, and now for the rest of her life, she has to deal with these consequences. And y'all, get this. He remarried within a year. She doesn't even know if he told his new wife, but she doubts it. Sometimes she thinks about reaching out and telling her, but she's afraid of the backlash because they all still go to the same church. She's sharing her story because she wants women, especially young women in religious communities, to understand that purity culture is not protection, it's control. It teaches women that their worth is tied to their virginity, but it doesn't teach them about consent, boundaries, sexual health, or how to protect themselves. It puts all the responsibility on the woman to stay pure while giving the men a pass to do whatever they want, and then expect a pure woman to accept them without question. Now, here's my 2 cents. Everyone walks a different journey. Thinking that, because you're a virgin, that's going to put you on a higher pedestal was the first mistake that she made, because that should be, your virginity should be something that you're guarding for you. Not because you want men to see you in a certain way, but it should be something that you are doing for you. The moment that she was doing it for a man or for men is the moment that you're making an error in your judgment and your decision making. And please listen to what I'm actually saying. I'm not telling you to go out there and bust it wide open. I'm saying make decisions based on what's best for you and your well-being. Paska, while she was being conditioned to believe that her purity was her protection, her purity was her power, that man was running the streets like there was no tomorrow, all because my guy knew that he wasn't going to be held to that same standard, which is why, like, these conversations are incredibly important before you get into any relationship or marriage. Like, why are y'all not going and getting tested together? This whole I'ma move on trust is what puts a lot of people in predicaments like this, paska trust may verify. Like, this is your health. This is your livelihood. Like, you cannot just put that on trust. Because of this trust, this man got to walk into a situation, into a marriage with a woman who had been sheltered and isolated and had believed that her purity was going to protect her, just to now have to deal with an incurable disease for the rest of her life.
I'm an alcoholic. I'm in recovery. I'm also an addict. I'm in recovery. I've been sober for a little over 4 years. Let's get ready for bed while I tell you guys another story that is one of the reasons I decided to get sober. So this story is back in college. At this point, I really don't have any friends left. I'm hanging out with my brother and his friends that I am just meeting for the first time. I could not find anybody to go out with really towards the end of my drinking career. I can't even really remember when this was. I want to say it was like the beginning of summer, but we were all going out to this like event. We were going to tailgate once we got there, go into the event, etc. I was excited because it was me and a bunch of guys. We all know that Jordan liked that. All the drinking was all about making the guys thinking I'm cool, remember? I knew I was going to be able to drink with these guys. None of my like girlfriends were going to be there bothering me. They were never bothering me. They were just worried about me and didn't want me to black out. Anyway, I was like, this will be fun. This will be great. We'll drink, we'll go into the event, and then we can like go out that night. So we get to this event. We're in the parking lot. Meet all of my brother's friends at the car. We open up the back of the car. We have like a Suburban and we're tailgating. We have beer. I think there's some tequila involved. I didn't like tequila. I didn't really care. I was going to drink whatever was available, whatever was going to get me drunk the fastest. I kind of felt like beer was a waste of time because it was a lot of calories and it just took too long. I wanted to get drunk as fast as possible on the lowest amount of calories. So if there was hard alcohol there, even if I didn't like it, I was drinking it. Hence the tequila. I remember having a tough time getting it down. I started to feel buzzed, blah, blah, blah. Here with my brother and all these friends, and I picked like one that I was like, that's the one that I like tonight. I've never met this person before. Like, I just decided that that was the person that I liked. That was who I was going to be going after. So the afternoon begins. I got literally all my brother's friends to line up, and I took a picture with them. Oh my God, my eyebrows. And I posted it on Instagram, and I literally made the caption, Jordan and the boys. Embarrassing. Can somebody say pick me? Anyway, alcohol's hitting. We go into this event and I have this little like Tory Burch purse with me that like goes over my shoulder and it's like this big. We go into this event, blah, blah, blah. We find our seats and we're sitting there. I am like slowly like getting more and more drunk. Like it's hitting me. Still having this weird thing in my head with the guy where I'm like, me and this guy, we're a thing now and it's going to be a thing all night. He likes me. Obviously, like, can't you tell? Meanwhile, the guy is like, doesn't even really know that I exist. I don't even think the guy was aware that he existed. As far as I was concerned, he was my new boyfriend. So whatever, we're sitting down, blah, blah, blah. I decide I need to go to the bathroom. Totally fine, right? Should be, in theory, a no-brainer. I get up, I go to the bathroom, I come back to the seats. Nothing was ever that easy for me. I get up and I, for whatever reason, remember, I'm trying to make this guy my boyfriend. It's like my sole mission of the night. I hand him my purse. Here, John, not his name, just making it up. Here, John, can you hold my purse? Give him my purse. Everything's in there. Phone, keys, wallet, wristbands, tickets, everything. Literally go to the bathroom alone. Remember, I'm with all boys, so no girls can come and find me. I go to the bathroom. Guess who doesn't return from the bathroom? I don't remember much. I remember going to the bathroom, coming out of the bathroom, and being incredibly lost. I went and tried to find them. I went up, I went down, I went over here, I went over there. I could not find them. I remember like going and finding random seats and just like sitting there for a while. I remember sitting there and pretending like nothing was wrong. Like I was literally like, I was literally lost. Like I had no idea where I was. I didn't want anybody to know that like I was like having a hard time. So I get up, whatever. Everything blacks out at this point. I don't remember. But my next thought, I guess, was actually, why don't I just go and meet them at the car? Now, we need to remember, I do not have my purse. I do not have my phone. I do not have my wallet. I gave it to my boyfriend. I guess I decided in this blackout, which actually, like, the thought process was kind of there, honestly. I'm just gonna go to the car because I know eventually they'll come to the car. We'll all meet back at the car. That was great for me. Nobody else knew where I was and they thought that I was like missing, gone. So apparently I go back to the car, I sit on the wheel of the car and I fall asleep, literally sitting propped up on the wheel. I fall asleep. My brother and his friends are freaking out. They're like, where is she? They can't find me. They're running all over the place. Next thing I know, I come to in a medical tent, laying on a stretcher. I think that this was right after I had ended up in the hospital for mixing alcohol and other substances. I think I like saw the medical like tent around me and I was like, oh my God, not again. They ended up like calling my brother. He came and got me. I was totally fine. Turns out that I really had just like gone to the car and like fell asleep on the tire because I didn't have the keys. And that's not the worst part. This is the worst part of the entire thing, you guys. You would think like after that happened to somebody, they'd be like, oh my God, like what a bad night, blacked out. I lost everybody. People worried about me. I got picked up off the medical stretcher. Let's just go home. I was like, okay, so where are we going out? Oh my God, like, I just freaked everybody out. I ruined everybody's night. I don't think I saw any of those guys again. I had to go to the guy's house the next day, find the purse, and get it from him. I think he, like, didn't even want to see me. He was just like, her purse is, like, on the hook, whatever. Totally embarrassed myself and my brother in front of all these friends that he was just being nice and bringing me in front of. He knew that I, like, had no friends anymore. Okay, can we give this girl a chance? And I messed it up again. I couldn't drink without messing it up and doing just absurd things. Why did I go to the bathroom and leave the purse with my boyfriend? I get the tactic, I get the thought process, but in my right mind, like, I would never do that. I was confused why boys didn't like me. I was like, I don't understand why no boys like me. Jordan, maybe because you're freaking delegating men to be your boyfriend, handing them purses, and then falling asleep on car wheels while drunk on tequila. I'm sorry, call me crazy. I don't think that's particularly appealing to any boy. Like I said, this was definitely towards the end of my drinking career. I think I continued to drink for a couple weeks after this before I got sober for the first time. I just think about that. Like, once I took that first sip of tequila or first beer or whatever, I was done for. No control over where the alcohol took me, where I ended up. The same old story as always with me. Once I take the first drink, the drink takes me, and the alcohol takes me on a ride that I don't get to decide when I get off of. The alcohol decides when it's done with me, and it kicks me out and just boots me wherever I end up. You might be watching this and think, oh, that's pretty normal for a college student, or oh, you just had one bad night, you got lost. It's not about the consequences. It's about when I started drinking, I lost all control. I could not stop, actively trying not to black out, and I just couldn't stop once I started drinking. Love you guys. Bye.
That man put that thing in my face. I was looking at it. He said, "You scared of it?" I really couldn't even find the words to say. My heart was beating fast. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at that thing. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at that thing. And for a minute, I felt like the whole world stopped. I couldn't hear nothing. I couldn't feel nothing. But what I do know is I was scared, terrified, frightened. All those words, that was me right then and there in that moment. He kept going on and on like, why your eyes so big? Yeah, you ain't never seen nothing like that before, have you? Yeah, you scared, huh? Yeah, you want to be a boy. Now it's time to treat you like a boy. You want to be a man? Mind you, all the time, nobody never said. I don't know where y'all get that from. That be y'all only little comeback. You want to be a man, I'm going to treat you like a man. We don't want to be you, man. Look at you. Y'all want to be us. You're sassy. Y'all be at different conversation for a whole nother day. But I'm just saying, that's the stuff he was saying. He was like, yeah, this coming from a real man. This what real men do. You don't know nothing about it. Next thing you know, I felt my shoulders getting pulled back. And it was Nyla. So Nyla pulled me back. And she stood in front of me. So he was like, oh, wait, you love her like that? He was like, I knew you liked her. And I ain't gonna lie, you know, she pretty, she attractive. But you love her. The way you just did it. So you just gonna stand in front of her? While I got this thing in my hand? Y'all, Nyla literally stood in front of all of us. She had her hand stretched out wide. She was blocking my ex, me, and my friend. She just kept shaking her head. She was crying. Tears just running down. She wasn't saying nothing, but all you could see was her crying and shaking, just shaking her head like, no, 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 no. Mind y'all, the whole time we was focused on, you know what I'm saying, protecting Nyla. Nyla went from having seizures to being just so shocked to being, she was just stuck, couldn't move. But she was standing there, y'all, in front of us, and that actually meant a lot to me. The man said, you know what, Nyla? The next time I see you, if you don't have my money, the last time I'm going to be seeing you is at your funeral. And I can promise you that. He like, yeah, and I already know your little friend called the police, so I'm about to get on up out of here. But look and see how easy it was for me to just boom, boom, boom. All of y'all right here and just go about my day. He like, man, stop playing with a real grown man because a real grown man do real things. Like, okay, boy, all right. Like, I felt like when I knew that he wasn't going to take all of us out, I was able to just all right, he just trying to scare us. Okay, so that's what it is. I don't know him like that. I don't know what type of time he be on, so it's just like, but when he said that, like, so next time, like, you ain't about that life, like, ain't that good? Like, all right, get on up out of here, shrimp. Like, all right, man, all right. The mysterious man walked away, got back in his truck, and irked off. And I kid y'all not, 5 minutes later, the police finally pull up like, hey, are you ladies all right? Like, dang it, if we wasn't, what y'all was going to do? We called y'all away. I feel like we was standing outside for 2 hours. I felt like I was standing in front of that thing, that pew-pew for 2 hours. And then here y'all finally come trying to say today. Man, please. Nyla turned around and tried to group hug all of us. Like, literally, she grabbed my ex. She grabbed me in the middle. She grabbed my friend. My ex, like, moved her hand and was like, what's wrong with you? Like, literally, you almost got our life taken away from us. Like, you would have been a reason why we won't be able to go home to our families, our friends, and all this other stuff. And you think it's a kumbaya moment? Like, my ex started popping on Nyla. Like, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Like, come on, Kana. She's like, no. And you just as stupid. Like, stupid. Hold on. Because I can show you stupid. Ain't nobody stupid. Don't call me stupid. My ex just like, Star Young, I don't know what y'all got going on, but I don't want no parts. Like, literally, this has gone too far. This is way beyond you talking to another girl, all this other stuff. Like, just be careful, just be safe. But at this point, like, nah, I don't got nothing to say to you. So my ex walked off, got in her car, and she left. And I'm just standing there. It's just me, Nyla, and my friend. My friend still shooken up. Nyla just won't stop crying. She just won't stop saying, like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And me, I feel like I'm in shock, but more so, I just feel like I'm grateful to be able to walk away from a situation like that, because that man really could have had his way with us for real. Wasn't nobody outside. She didn't have those type of neighbors, like nosy neighbors. Everybody was minding their business. It wasn't like a busy street. He definitely had a silencer on it, so he could have easily boom, 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 and that's it. Walked off. Wasn't no ring cams or nothing like that going on either. So it was like, dang, this man really could have had his way and just been, you know what I mean? We really didn't have too much to tell the police because we don't know the people. Nyla was acting like she was scared to give up the info or whatever like that. So I'm like, look, Nyla, just take me back over there by my truck so I can get it towed. Like, at this point, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate you apologizing, but at this point, it's just gone too far. You done put my life in danger, and I'm just not that type of person. Like, there's crazy and there's, like, out of this world, unbelievable, bizarre, and that's the type of stuff that Nyla was on, and I'm just really not feeling that. So I'm like, okay, cool. Nyla driving back to her crib. She like, can I talk to you? Like, I can't stop you, but what I'm gonna do? Like, go ahead, talk. She's like, I just want to say something, like, before you get out, because I know you're not going to talk to me no more after this. And I'm not going to lie, I did plan on, completely cutting Nyla, because it's like, bro, yeah, you just got too much going on or whatever. Like, yeah, my ex was being a B-word about it, but she was right. Like, it just gets to a point. At some point, the line has to be drawn. And I felt like not that situation, even though it was crazy, I felt like Nyla still really wasn't trying to draw that line. But I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, what you got to say? Speak. So she get to telling me about how she don't want to be in that type of lifestyle no more. Like, she just really want to dance one more time, like, get her bag up, and she want to be done with all of that. Like, she really want to, like, enroll in school. She, like, really sees a bright future. You know what I'm saying? She's telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy. Y'all, she been in this lifestyle since she was, like, 16. At that point in time, I think she was, like, 24, 25. Is like, so, you know what I'm saying? She's done. She don't want to do that no more. And, like, I completely understand. She's like, you're the first person that ever came around and really made me see different. Everybody else, like, they be encouraging her, like, you know what I'm saying, to stay in that lifestyle, to make that money, did all this and all that. But she was like, you really encouraged me, and I appreciate you for that. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm the type of person where sometimes the words do get to me, and I was feeling bad for Nyla, because I'm like, dang, she was telling me how it was gonna be hard for her to sleep at night. She felt like the mysterious man was going, you know what I'm saying, be stalking her and all this and all that. And I'm just like, that's crazy. I understand you wrecked his car, but just get a man his money. She's like, I promise you, I just want to dance one more time, and that was gonna be that. Like, she's like, but the one thing that I would really appreciate is if you just came and saw me just one night. This is my last night dancing. I'm gonna be done with it, over. And I was like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? It's only one night. What's the worst that can? I'm just going to see you dance. What's the worst that could happen? I know my ex mad at me. She ain't trying to talk to me right now. My friend, I know she's like feeling some type of way, even though she know that we all right, whatever like that. So come on, I can go see Nyla dance. I mean, what would it hurt? You know what I mean? Went back to Nyla's crib. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to leave. I went in there. I'm helping her make her, like, her last dance flyer. She's like, say the last dance. You know what I'm saying? This is her goodbye or whatever. She's leaving this lifestyle. She's inviting all of her big ballers and shot callers and all her pretty girls with the money, all this other stuff that she like. This would be a night to remember this weekend. Come see me dance for the very last time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I felt good because I'm like, you know what? I really want to see this girl win. Even though the situation was just so crazy happening, it's just like something in me was still telling me, like, you know what? Do your good deed. Help Nyla out. She want to do a dance for one last time. What? It ain't going to hurt me. It ain't going to hurt me, right? Come on, y'all, right? I think it was seeing how excited she was about not being in that lifestyle no more. Like, just sitting there hearing her and watching her talk about, oh, she want to do this. She want to enroll in school. She wants to, like, pick up everything and, like, start over fresh. Like, just hearing her talk about all that stuff, like, that just really was brightening me up. Like, it was really doing something to me, giving me the energy, because I'm just like, trying to help her. I'm like, you know what? I know somebody that can do this. Like, she was even saying she want a whole new look. She don't want to look like she a dancer, because, sometimes you can spot a dancer from a mile away, depending on, you know what I'm saying, if you around that type of culture, you could see it. And I was like, you know what? It just made me feel good knowing that she actually wanted to do better, regardless of whatever just happened. She gave me the money to get all of my ties and stuff fixed, whatever like that. She apologized. She's like, look, I don't know really what's going on with you and your ex. I understand. Like, more than anything, that was my friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and my ex was like really cool. You know how it be when you date girls. When you break up, you don't only lose a relationship. I feel like you'll be losing a friendship too. I'm like, my ex mad, but she'll get over it. You know, Taurus and Scorpio, we locked in. Cool. Nyla was telling me that, you know, after she sent her flyer out, she had people that's going to fly in for her. She had some of the biggest names, the biggest tricks that ever did trick going to pull up to her, to the club or whatever and see her dance. I was really excited. I was happy. She's like, look, my goal is to make at least $20,000. Like, if I get $20,000 in one night, that's enough for me to say, you know what, F this, I'm done, you know, start over. She had been saving and stuff too. I'm just like, why you just won't, you know what I'm saying, get a man the money? But she's like, you know, it's deeper than that. She don't want to just give him everything she got right now. But if she could just get 20,000, she'll pay him off, everything will be good, you know what I'm saying, she'll have enough for a brand new start. I'm like, all right, boom, we got the plan, we got the blueprint, all we got to do is, you know what I'm saying, make it a 20K night. That should be easy for somebody like Nyla. That I feel like she's one of the top girls that always showing her love. Kill. The week going by, everything going back to normal. I'm working and stuff. Nyla's going into work, you know what I'm saying, getting the money that she can. Everybody's preparing for Nyla's big weekend. The whole club showing her love. She was saying that other dancers were going to come out and tip her or whatever. Even the manager thanked her for dancing and bringing business because Nyla was bringing all the big ballers out, stuff like that. So, boom, the weekend here. And I kid y'all not, on the morning of, the day of, I just felt so weird. Like, one of the times that I really wish I would have listened to my intuition, one of the times I really wish that I would have listened to that little voice inside my head, but I did not. I was just like, you know, I'm probably just nervous, whatever the case like that. But yeah, it was one of them times. How I know it's crazy, because my ex hit me up 2 hours before, and she's like, you going to Nyla's goodbye party or whatever? I was like, yeah. She was like, I don't want you to go. Like, I don't know. I just feel something. I'm thinking like, man, you know, this is my ex. She just talking, whatever like that. Nah, I should have listened to my ex, y'all. I really should have listened to her, you know? I told her, like, look, let me just do this one last thing for Nyla. I'm going to be done. I promise. We can even talk about getting back together. She was like, no. I hung up the phone, and here I am on my way to the club.
Would I be the asshole if I don't respond to my siblings' request to meet up after we were all separated in foster care? When I, 29 male, was 11, my siblings and I were removed from our parents and placed in foster care. We were all separated from each other and were never placed together. My siblings went to different families. I was put in a residential treatment facility for a while, then into a group home. That's where I stayed until I left foster care. All of us were neglected and responded in different ways. That's why my siblings were also separated. I had added trauma because of physical abuse and SCA. I also witnessed the events that got CPS and the cops involved in our case. It's not something I can share, but my trauma was at a level where I couldn't stand being touched, where I hurt myself and posed a risk of hurting others, especially younger kids. Because of extreme night terrors that made me stay up night after night until I crashed and was woken up within a couple hours by the night terrors. You poor thing. Oh my goodness, baby. I've been in therapy since I was 11 years old. There might never be a time where I won't need a therapist, at least in the background. My progress has been slower than a lot of people would expect. The whole kids are resilient thing has never been true for me after everything that I've been through and seen. There are still nights where I suffer night terrors. There are times that I need to journal my thoughts. I struggle with some relationships still. I have a partner, we live together. I have a good relationship with their family, but I'm not comfortable with physical affection towards many people. There's only 3 people that I've opened up to about exactly what went down. My childhood therapist, my current therapist, and my partner. I've never sought out anyone from my childhood, and this includes my siblings. For the sake of the progress that I've made, and for the sake of not regressing and maybe lashing out verbally at them because they're apparently aware that I know things they don't, and they want me to tell them. That alone, baby, no. You're not the asshole. You've been working for a very long time, as hard as you can, to get to where you are right now. I completely understand that your siblings are reaching out because they have questions and they want answers and they feel like you're the best person to get them from. I get that. But for the sake of all the work that you've put in, like you said, it's not worth it if you truly feel like it's something that's going to set you back. You're not wrong for wanting to put yourself first. How do I know this? Over the summer, I was contacted by one of my siblings on social media. They tracked me down by name and said they had contacted all of our other siblings. The plan was for all of us to meet again for the first time in almost 20 years and talk about everything. The sibling who contacted me said they all knew that I knew stuff they did not, and I had answers about why we were taken and what happened. They said I needed to be there more than any of them because I owed them answers. You don't. You don't. You were a child just like they were. You were a victim in this situation just like they were. You do not have to relive your trauma for the sake of giving them answers to their questions. As mean as it fucking sounds, I don't care. It's the truth. You do not owe them anything. The siblings said that we all needed a relationship and to reconnect. They said I was the last one to be found and the most difficult to track down. They even acknowledged that I was so hard to find, it seemed like I didn't want to be found. Read the fucking room. It's 100% true. I'm not fucking surprised. I never responded. I don't want to respond or have any plan to. My answer would be 100% no to meeting or speaking to them. I can't do it. I fear if I answer, they'll push. And I assume that if I don't answer, they'll think it's not me. That's better for me, but maybe not for them. And it's possible in putting myself first, I'm being an asshole to them. Would I be the asshole if I don't respond? First off, OP, I want to tell you that I am so proud of you. I am so proud of all of the progress that you made. I know you said there were a number of things that you still struggle with, and that's absolutely okay, because I can bet that years ago, that number was a hell of a lot higher. And even if it never, ever, ever goes down, that's absolutely okay. I am still proud of all of the progress that you've made. No, my love, I don't think you would be the asshole. I don't. I understand that your siblings may have questions and they believe that you are the best person for them to get these answers, but that does not mean you have to relive your trauma for the sake of them getting these answers. There may come a point sometime down the line where you're able to sit down and have this conversation with your siblings, but that time is not right now. We cannot give more of ourselves to others than what we have to give. What your siblings are asking of you right now is too much. You said so yourself that if you go and sit down with your siblings, you truly feel like you're going to lose a lot of the progress that you worked so hard for. It's more than what you have of yourself to give. You're not wrong for choosing not to give it. Not at all. Now, OP, you said that you hope if you do not respond to the messages that your siblings will just move on with their day and assume that they have the wrong person. If that works out that way, absolutely perfect. No more action needed from you. If they become persistent because they know that that you are their long lost sibling and they still demand answers, it might be a good idea to send them a message back and let them know that you've worked really, really hard to get to the point that you are in your life right now. And reliving that trauma is just not something that you are willing to do, that you can do. It's not healthy for you emotionally, nor is it healthy for you mentally. And then if possible, give them contacts to someone that they can talk to that can help them get the answers that they need. If your siblings are normal fucking people, they will respect this if it gets to this point. They will. But this is the real world, and we know that people act out in a number of ways when they don't get what they want. It's completely understandable that your siblings have questions. That's understandable, and they are not wrong for having them. But that does not mean the answers to these questions have to come from you.
Somebody I will never forget is this one entrepreneur from middle school. Oh, I hope she's doing good. Let me explain her lore. So once again, we're in a time capsule at this point. Let's set the scene, middle school. I was in the middle of something, an entanglement, because what the fuck was I doing in middle school? Now we're going to set this scene from 6th grade when I started middle school. I didn't know what was going on. I'm just going to be very frank about it. I was fresh out of 5th grade with nothing but shorts and white knee-high socks and a dream. It was bad. Not fully knee-high socks, but like all the way up to the ankle. It was very unnecessary. I loved my Vans. I would wear shorts even during the coldest of months. Like it would be a blizzard in my area, and there I got bust out with my shorts. Hey guys, the legs are out. Anyways, middle school was extremely different for anybody, including me, than elementary school, right? So I remember my first day of middle school, and I walked into the building, and why did it go from 200 people to 2,000 people? What does this mean? Let's get out of class. Keep in mind, I'm nervous as shit, right? Like, I have a schedule. These rooms are very fucking far apart. I'm used to elementary school. We all had a locker. It was all designated. Why is this so new for us? I look to my left. Somebody's already fighting in the hallway. I've never seen a fight before at all. In elementary school, there would maybe be a tussle at recess over silly bands. Why are people banging each other's heads on lockers? This is Fight Club. I've seen a movie on this. What? So I'm nervous as shit. I'm ducking through. It looks like a war, right? And I'm just trying to get to fucking class. Finally, I get to class about 20 minutes late, all right? This was the first day of 6th grade, but I was so lost and confused. Keep in mind, I got to the building an hour early, so it took me an hour and 20 minutes to find my fucking room. Bunch of teachers kept stopping me too on the way, it felt like almost like a haunted attraction, like stopping me saying, do you know the way? And I'm like, like, it's okay, I can figure it out myself, right? I had too much pride, and I was also too nervous to talk to these teachers. These are middle school teachers. They don't know me. They're really professional. Anyway, so I get into my class about 20 minutes late, kind of like wave my hand a little bit. It was my worst fucking nightmare, right? Because I'm anxious, and now the whole class is looking at me. Everyone already found their seats. I don't know anybody in this class. Okay. Now, because I was 20 minutes late, when I walked in and did my little awkward hand wave and I started bumping into people accidentally and I'm saying, excuse me, you would have thought I had the cheese touch. I was so fucking nervous. But it was during the time of morning announcements, which morning announcements, I don't think we had that in elementary school. It almost felt like we were watching CNN, but a pipsqueak version of it. It was so confusing. We had a TV in the room, which I don't even think we had a TV in the room during elementary school. But anyway, when I walked in, they were like getting ready to start the Pledge of Allegiance. And I was like, ooh, like to the flag. Okay. Well, I need to find my seat. Do I need to sit or stand? I'm so fucking... I end up standing up with everybody else. Everyone's got their hand to their heart. This is all fucking new to me. I'm just kind of like looking around like, okay. After that, I want to say for the next like 10 minutes-ish, it's literally like a televised news event on the TVs in middle school. But it's like Pipsqueak ran. Like, I'm not fucking kidding. Like, you would have thought it was like kids like role playing like downstairs and like doing a PowerPoint presentation for their parents to get a sleepover, right? Like, we're trying to go to Disney World. Like, can we show you this presentation? That's what it was. But it was like actual like fucking like broadcast cameras and like Pipsqueaks were sitting there with like a green screen in the back. Like, it it felt like a fucking utopia. Like, I don't... Anyways, I'm getting all my pencils out of my book bag. I'm trying to get everything set together. I have my binder. I have it color coded for each class. I don't even know if I'm in the right class at this point, but just pay attention to the screen. This is also new. Anyways, I remember the morning announcements, they go for about 10 minutes. They finally wrap up. And after the morning announcements, like, the screen kind of goes black, right? I'm like, okay, like, that's the only thing that, like, the TV screen's used for. Like, has to be, okay? So I'm just like, okay, like, we're going to start, like, they're going to go over what we're doing here, what middle school's about. The teacher ends up standing up to the podium and doesn't even do like icebreakers because we're still pipsqueaks. It's just kind of like, okay, you guys made it here, like, cool, like, here's some papers, look, do what you want, do an airplane, right? Now, while she's doing this little show and tell thing and she's telling us about like her ex-husband and all these different family members that we all don't know, but she has to introduce herself legally to us, I'm looking over at the box TV screen that's desolate in the corner, the one that just had CNN for pipsqueaks on it, right? So my eyes keep kind of like darting at it because I was like, that was so cool. Like, elementary school, we didn't have TVs in there. Like, can we watch movies on it? I'm looking about Indiana Jones and I look and suddenly the screen goes from black to different colors. I jolt back a little bit because I'm like, am I hallucinating? Am I this nervous for like middle school? Like, the TV was just off. And it's very colorful. And then it starts sliding, okay? It's like a slider. At this point, my teacher's like going over like her pipsqueaks and what she likes doing with her kids and like how like her kid just learned how to ride a bike for the first time. My eyes are only looking at this TV screen and it's sliding, it's sliding, it's sliding. And I like finally start like paying attention because there's words on the slides. And I'm like, is this part of like her presentation? I'm so fucking confused. And my eyes lock on it and I see like, happy birthday, Shelby. Like, I love you so much. Huh? Who the fuck is Shelby and why is she in her classroom? I'm so fucking... Then like that would flash for like about like 10 to 20 seconds. Then it would slide over and then it'd be like, happy birthday, Monica. Like, you're my lifeline. Like, besties for the resties. Like, can't believe we're doing 8th grade again. Like, what? And then it would slide again and then it'd be like, happy first day, y'all. Like, ready to like pop myself out. Like, just random ass shit. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? I'm trying to look over at like my colleagues at this time, people I don't fucking know in the class that also have pencils out. And I'm like, are y'all seeing what the fuck I'm seeing? Now, granted, we're all in 6th grade at this point. Like, this is like the first day out. So they probably don't know. Or maybe it was when I was 20 minutes late, they explained. So I finally get the courage and like I whisper over to the person to the right of me, right? Girl sitting there. She had her ripped jeans on. It was her first day of school. And I was like, hey, mama, like, my name's Dylan. She's like, hi, like, my name's like, I don't even fucking know what to call her. Slug. She doesn't look like a slug, but like that's all I can think of at this time, right? Slug. So Slug looks at me. Slug's like, hey, like, my name is Slug. And I'm like, all right, nice to meet you, girl. And I was like, do you see the TV screen? Like, there's stuff like sliding on. And she's like, yeah, like, I noticed that I have friends that are in 8th grade and 7th grade. Like, they explained it to me. Basically, from what she told me, she was like, yeah, like, those are birthday slides. Like, you can like buy those and like put stuff on it and like it will like go around the whole day. I'm like, huh? A birthday slide? Girl, just get me a present. But that's kind of cool. So that was my first introduction to birthday slides, okay? Basically, to explain it, how she explained it to me, what my school did as a cute little concept and also to make money off of our little pea-brain ass, you had to pay, I'm pretty sure it was $2, right? If you wanted to do a birthday slide, so like it was your friend's birthday or something, you would get there early, you would go into the broadcast room that would have the CNN, right? You would go in there with your 2 crumpled up dollars that you stole from your parents the night before or they gave it to you willingly, and you say, hi, I'd like to do a birthday slide for blah, 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 blah. And then they'd give you a piece of paper and you would write on the birthday slide what you want on it and you would give it to them and they would have to approve it. Can't be any cuss words. And then they would type it up literally on a PowerPoint presentation and they would put it on the box TV. And keep in mind, these box TVs were in every single classroom. Like, that first day I was going in every single classroom. These birthday slides were on every single classroom. So I don't know what kind of monopoly I was a part of, but I was kind of intrigued. I was like, ooh. And then I was upset because I was like, my birthday's in the summer. where are my birthday slides going to be? Whatever. So I want to say it keeps going out throughout the year. I want to say it's like 2 to 3 weeks in, right? Let's say 4-week mark of 6th grade. And I remember sitting there in class, and I would always look at the birthday slides like through and through, because I'd be like, oh, I wonder whose birthday it is today. I'm very nosy, right? Like this is my way of Facebook, right? Like I could see the birthdays. I remember I looked over one day, and it's like sliding. Keep in mind, not everybody would. How do I describe that? Like they were supposed to be for birthdays only, but you could also like give them $2 and say, oh, can you put this on it? As long as it wasn't like inappropriate, right? Or if you knew somebody in the broadcast room, you could like slide them and like do something funny on. So I look over at the TV screen one day. It's like 7 in the fucking morning. I'm still processing life. And I look over to see whose birthday it is. And it gets to the second slide. And it's not a birthday slide. Not the fuck at all. It says on it, follow my Instagram at, let's say, Rebecca202, right? It's like, follow me on Instagram at Rebecca202 and I'll follow you back. A whole ass slide going throughout the classroom saying, follow me on Instagram, Rebecca202. I searched her Instagram that day. I was like, I've never in my fucking life an entrepreneur. And I look, and she had, I think like 800 followers at the time. Did I follow her? No, the fuck I didn't. And I feel bad because she paid $2 to put it on there for me to follow her. Not exclusively me, but anybody in the community. But I was like, I was too nervous to follow her on Instagram because I was like, girl, like, I'm not going to follow you on Instagram and look like a fan, but like that kills me. Like you are an entrepreneur. And when I say she did it that time, and then from then on, my entire fucking middle school career, it felt like at least my whole middle school career, when I was there up until 8th grade, this girl had a fucking slide on there once or twice a month. I'm not fucking. And it was always follow me on Instagram, like at Rebecca202 for a follow back, or like follow me on Instagram at Rebecca202. Or on the rare occasion that her friend had a birthday, she would sign it off with at Rebecca202 on Insta. Like that was a fucking entrepreneur. That really was. Like you see now on like TikTok and stuff, people doing like paid sponsorships and promos and trying to get their accounts out there. She was a fucking hustler at our middle school. I am not fucking. And now to this day, I've never met her in real life. Keep in mind, she was in my middle school. I probably have like passed by her, but like I've never like met her. But like I know, I still remember the username, like Rebecca202. And it's still her username to this day. Like I actually looked it up before making this video, and like that's still her name to this day. And now she has like, I think 2,000 followers. Like, okay, girl. But that has always just like sat with me. Like when I think back on middle school, I'm like, I wonder how Rebecca202 is doing. And also it's a thing of like, how much money did you have Rebecca202? Not that it was a lot, it was $2, but like she was doing this shit 2 times to 3 times a month. So you mean to tell me you're paying $6 on paid promo at our 6th grade ass selves? I'm proud of you. And granted, that's actually cheap for promo. So I guess you ate that up. And also, if you're seeing this Rebecca202, how many followers did you get from this little gig? Like how many? And it was smart too, because she did it in like 7th grade too. So when all the new 6th graders came in, like they saw her Instagram. Now with that being said, can you guys follow me for free? I don't have $2 even. A lot of debt.
This lady said 2 years ago she was robbed at G Point. She was so traumatized even to this day. And her now fiance is the one that actually intervened and ran him off. But 2 months ago, she found out that her robbery was actually a setup. So let's get into it. She says, 2 years ago, I was coming home from work. I worked second shift. So I had got home close to about midnight and sometimes after. I had been living in an apartment building 9 months. So it was still kind of new to me, but not really. She says it was a really good neighborhood. Nothing like this had ever happened per the police. So she says, I parked, I grabbed my purse from the back seat, and I got out and I locked the doors. And as my feet hit the sidewalk, I saw 2 guys coming, rushing to me. One took me to the ground and dragged me to the side of the building. I was so scared. The other one was asking for money, which I didn't have. But the one that was on top of me was being very handsy with me. And the other guy kept looking around like he was waiting for someone. And even told the guy that was doing too much to just chill. That's not what we're here for. Let's just stick to the plan. He had my mouth covered and he pinned me to the wall. Out of nowhere, my now fiance comes pulling into the building right in front of where we were at. The 2 guys saw him. He started to get out. They take off. They never take anything. They didn't take my purse, my keys, nothing. They just ran. He checked on me and stayed with me while I made the police report. And from that day forward, we were really inseparable. We started dating. I thought he was my hero, really, because I thought they could have done something really bad to me and they could have unalived me, especially the one that was being very handsy with me. But things took a turn when the guy that was telling the other guy to just chill, let's stick to the plan, he had started coming around our home, and that's when a cat started to come out of the bag.
Sophomore year summer going into junior year was literally the best time of my whole entire life. Zoe, Haley, Reagan, and me, and this is Reagan we don't like, all wanted to go to the lake and have a girls' night. Literally, that's all we wanted to do was have a girls' night. And I was one of the girls until I wasn't. We all scrounged up some money so we could get some drinks and stuff like that because obviously, like, bitch, we're not going to the lake and not gonna have a party. When the party was literally just gonna be us, but it doesn't matter because we were still gonna have a fun ass time. I can't even put it into words. We never even paid for the campsite. I don't know how we did it, but we literally just drove right through. Don't know how, but we got to the campsite. Period. And it was nice as fuck. Like, I literally remember it so vividly and it was so pretty. I loved it. And yeah, it gave Oklahoma country. Like, where's the fucking water moccasins? I don't remember who ended up getting us the drinks, but Haley was the one that like talked to them to go get the drinks and stuff like that. So I have no idea who did it, but they gave us the drinks. We got there. We had a tent. Literally, we had a big ass tent and we had this blow up, like, bitch, me and Zoe, literally, we had a job. We worked the same job when we were 16. And with one of our paychecks, we literally bought one of those blow up flamingos from Sam's Club, like huge as fuck, right? Like $200, big, literally can hold like 8 people and it can go in the water, bitch, like that ass, like a boat. So we brought that. And we put that bitch in the water. Literally, we were all sitting there. We had a speaker. We were just drinking. We were chilling. And we were having so much fun. So we keep drinking. It gets later in the night. And it's like nighttime. And we're all hanging out in the lake. And while we're sitting there and we're all hanging out in the lake, we all start like, we're like, oh my God, we should get really skinny. Like, we should get really, really skinny in here. If you understand what I'm putting down, everyone, I have to keep it PG on TikTok, okay? So yes. We did exactly that and we got skinny. Y'all already know Reagan, insecure, bitter, and a bitch. So she got insecure, she got jealous, she got mad because me and Haley and Zoe were all literally just chilling and having a good ass time, fun ass time. And like, she literally could have joined, but she was literally, I don't know, she was just jealous and bitter. And she's like, I'm just gonna go over here and I'm gonna be over here. And we were like, okay, we just didn't even pay attention to it or anything like that. But we went back up onto the shore. We made some s'mores, drank a little bit. And then the next thing you know, Zoe like kind of wandered off. We're like, okay, like, where did Zoe go? Next thing you know, like a few minutes later, we just hear like, like, babe, like, I'm talking like, like, bitch, like, groaning. And we're like, the fuck? Like, did Bigfoot sneak up in there or something? Like, what the fuck? No. When Zoe gets really, really, really drunk, I don't know what it is, but she just like starts like moaning, like her body, she's just like, get it out of me. Literally, like, I don't want to be this drunk. And she hates it. So that's what she was doing. She was literally just like dying in the fucking tent. And we went in there, gardened a little bit more, like, bitch, like, we had it Scooby-Doo up in that shit, dead ass. And the next morning came. Literally, we all fell asleep. The next morning comes, I wake up and Reagan's not in there. I'm like, okay, like, where is she? So literally like a movie, I get out of the fucking tent. I look, this bitch is literally like so dramatically walking down the fucking beach. And I'm like, okay. And remind you, this is like an Oklahoma beach. Like Oklahoma Beach, like she probably has athlete's foot now. Dead ass, like, bitch, it does not give Hawaiian. So I'm like, what are you doing? You know, we're talking. She's still pissy and upset about last night because I don't know what the fuck. This bitch had like a lesbian crush on me or something like that. It was so weird. So we go sit down on one of the benches, and these are one of the concrete benches at a lake, right? If y'all don't know, if y'all haven't seen one, I don't know, but it's a fucking bench made out of concrete, right? So we're sitting there and a big ass pit bull comes out of nowhere. So bitch, we're like, ooh, like what? But it was low-key kind of nice. Like, it wasn't bothering us or anything. It was just going on a little like morning beach stroll. It was trying to do what Reagan was doing. And I'm sitting there just looking at it like this, and Reagan's literally sitting right next to me, and she's staring too, like we're not looking at each other at all. And she literally goes, and I'm so sorry if you're watching this, Kimmy. And she literally goes, the dog kind of looks like Kimmy. And so I look at her, and she doesn't look at me or anything. She's still looking straight. And she goes, not the face, the body. And I'm just like, and it kind of did. Like, sorry, Kimmy, love you down. But it kind of did. And then we literally just waited for Zoe and Haley to wake up. They woke up. we ended up getting in the car and we left and went and got some donuts and stuff like that because it was early in the morning. And then we went home, and then that's when we fully crashed. Like, babe, like, we literally went to sleep at, like, I don't know, it was probably like 10 a.m. and we didn't wake up till like 7 p.m., 9 p.m. And then we started our day because that was our sophomore year going into junior year.
These are my controversial takes that should not be controversial. Number one, it is not pop stars, celebrities, influencers' job to like be your role model. Whoever the fuck you choose to listen to or watch or pay attention or idolize, or whoever you let your kids listen to, that is on you. They are literally here to entertain us. I mean, if they end up being your role model, so be it, you know what I mean? Like, with fame comes shit like that. But like, the standard that we hold a lot of celebrities and influencers to is absolutely fucking insane. And a low-key, going off of that, I feel like we hold influencers and celebrities to a higher standard than fucking politicians. Listen, me personally, I do like to use my platform as a way to speak out about stuff going on like in America or in the world. Don't get me wrong, I feel like every influencer and celebrity should do the same thing, but they don't have to. Because let's be honest, when most people come on the internet, they come on here to escape all the crazy shit that's going on in the world. Okay, at the end of the day, like, our lives do continue, you know? Which is such a fucking sad thing to say when we see what's going on in the world right now. But it's the truth. And me personally, like, I just feel like all this energy that y'all put into like having these influencers and celebrities canceled for not speaking up about it, you could be putting this energy towards the politicians. Because let's be real, a lot of y'all who get on here and like just complain all the time about influencers and celebrities not speaking up, y'all aren't really doing anything but complaining. You don't know who's donated. Have you donated? And then it's like, a lot of the times y'all get on here attacking them, but it's like, if you look in their reposts, they're reposting about it. You know what I mean? There's different forms of like people speaking up, you know? I just feel like it's a lot of complaining and not actually doing anything. And this is part of the reason why we lost the fucking election. Now look who we have as a fucking president. Like, y'all are part of the problem, you know? Next, I hate a bitch who like claims to be a girl's girl, but then knocks other women down for like being in, you know, mentally abusive or just like abusive relationships in general. For example, I had a friend who used to like get on me all the time for like listening to SZA, for example, because she's so like miserable and like all she sings about is like going back to men who treat her like shit. And it's just kind of like, if you've never been in a situation like that, you don't really know how it is. Like, how are you mad at the girl and calling her miserable for, you know, being manipulated? Like, this is like why I hate the new version of girls girl, because it's like, it's so performative. Like, y'all are not girls. You do not like support women, you don't. And then lastly, something that I've noticed recently is that when it comes to calling people out who are not black for saying the N-word, people kind of like, the ones who say it who are people of color, you know, that aren't black, they usually get more flack than the people who are white that say it. And I don't understand that. Me personally, I don't like when anybody who isn't black says it. Like, I'm not gonna like sit here and cancel you for it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna like freak out about it. I would just prefer you not to say it. But it just kind of seems like when a white influencer gets called up for it, it's like, oh, here we go, another white influencer saying the N-word, oh well. But then when it's another person of color who isn't black, it's like, oh, let me destroy their life, and like now it's a big fucking deal. And it just don't make sense to me, because it's like, I'd rather a person of color say it than a white person. I think they both should get the same treatment, but they don't. And it's just kind of like racism within racism. It's just crazy, because who is the common enemy here?
A which man can ever burn you hotter than me? So me I talk to one girl, you know, and everybody around her is our up. When me say everybody is our up, cousins are up, best friend them are up, and she still a keep running all of them after me tell her say the all of them are up. Now all me know say them are up, brother, may I use me as example. Me dey round them, and me not even that funny, and certain things them are dead with laugh about, like kick. I roll over dead like, what are you laughing about? I'm not that funny. And she literally don't realize, like, bro, you know, she's sitting wrong with this, like, oh, your boyfriend is cool, you think I just so? For my internet profile, they would have liked down every single picture upon me. When me say every single one of them, I can know, like, yo, I rate them, I tell you this, and I like your cousin and your friends them are your ops. And she never want to listen to me, or she just delulu to her friends. But me still maintain the program. You see, me know what them a do, and me lock a gate and know say, yo, none of them now go violate her, because me see one up to already. So one day, now me and her go have an argument. And she now come size up with me and look for me about, I got options. You know much man in my DM, you know much man want to talk to me and want to take me out and spin for me. So now me confused and me I say, well, on that girl have dementia. Little Miss Willy Wonka brain forget say she have apps. Apps where me know about. Like you forget say your cousin are your app, and your best friend them are your app. And them are not just say app, them are the aptified one, touch your man app. That me a saying in my brain, but me not too put her to the test. As me just low make him go and chat off him out. So one day now we go have an argument and she go look for me now and go say, yo, guys out here actually care about her feelings and they care about this and that. I'm not like, wait there. I went since me not care about this and get her feelings. Guys out there actually put more effort in the good mornings, longer paragraphs. Okay, so you compare me to man or... Oh no, you compare me to man in your DM. Okay. So now you start answer to the man in your DM. Alright, you know who me both gonna start answer to? This girl make me keep it real. While she go play fool and go they go answer to man. Alright mama, I'ma show you how I work. Me know them never tell you about showing off people's scale before, you know. But I gonna show you how I get to work. The first day me see on our notification screen with a conversation, me say, alright, active. I go for the friend first. Strike one. Me I talk about the best friend, the one where she actually talk about. I'm passionate. So passionate about that I knew she was an app. I go for that one there first. I never want to link up on the friend them because I know want the family member get with. So I go for the cousin second. Brawling. Me say, alright then, you want to play stupid games? I'm gonna show you how we do this. And after the cousin gets strike 2, strike 3 was one more of the friend them. I went, yo, I was on a roll. Not even bagel. I make circles like me. And then when we go catch a third friend now, if we make everybody complete number 4, I just calm down and be like, I'm not want to deal with this no more because I don't want to stretch this out no longer and I get a turn around and go give me bone back. So after me catch a 4, I cut. Yeah, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Me wanna be loyal. Me cut, yo, me black out the whole of them and I show you say them are apps. And you turn around and go start chatting man in your DM. Oh hell no, bro. Hell no, I'm gonna show you how people like me get to work. And I got to work. When people real with you better be real back with them because some people will get to work. Here?
If you see my profile picture flashing red, that means I'm live. And if you join the live and comment LeBron James, my co-hosts are going to be getting up and dancing. Join the live and comment LeBron James.
So today I'm going to be rating all the places I decided to drive my old car to, which ultimately led to its transmission exploding in my college town. So excited. Now you're probably thinking, okay, like what are you gonna rate? Like going to the hot dog stand or driving to a burger place? I had an ideology at this point. If I have a car and I want to go somewhere, I'm gonna take that car to it. Like I would have driven that car through the ocean if I could have, which I basically did. I've driven through tropical storms, also tornadoes and blizzards. Let's get into it. So we're gonna start off with the first one, which is a whole different country, Canada. Now I'm gonna rate this one, honestly, 7 out of 10. Now 7 out of 10, it's an odd number, which I don't fucking like. I only like even numbers, but like I'm not gonna give it an 8 and I'm not gonna give it a 6. So for context, I live in Maryland, and the only reason I'm gonna deduct points off of this is because I couldn't just stay in Canada with this car. We proceed to drive my car to fucking Canada, go through the fucking border, go deep into Canada, into Toronto, and then after that we drove not back home, but we drove the other way. Now granted, this was just a weekend and I literally had classes on Monday, but I told myself for whatever reason at this time, if there's a state that's near me and I don't hit it at this point in time, even if it inconveniences me, I will never see this state again. I'll never be in this state again. So we proceeded to drive to Niagara Falls, stayed in Niagara Falls, then drove into Toronto, and then instead of going home, we drove to Michigan. Because apparently Michigan borders Canada too. I had no fucking clue until I saw the welcome to Michigan sign and I was fucking clapping. And then also we drove through Ohio as well. Those were the first times I've been to Michigan and Ohio. The trip itself was very fucking fun, but would I ever fucking drive to Canada again? No. Because getting back into the US, they thought that I was a contraband myself. I apparently looked like contraband and they were violating the shit out of me, going through my trunk and everything. Keep in mind, I have a US license. That wasn't enough for them. But getting into Canada, they literally just asked me if I liked maple syrup and I said yes. And they let me in with smiles. Also deducting points too, because I felt like I didn't really have a full trip with the way I planned it. This is fully my fault, keep in mind. I'm so sweet there. I love Canada so much, but like I was stopping in every single fucking area I could. And my car was running on fossil fuels. Like it was begging for me to fucking stop and I'd be like, Michigan. So I felt like I was in the car most of the fucking trip because every single day, like our Airbnb was about an hour away from Toronto where we wanted to be the whole. Very feverish, 7 out of 10. I love Canada, but my car didn't really love it. She was very stressed at the border. The second one, Miami. Now, granted, once again, I live in Maryland, and Miami is all the way fucking south. Actually, the most south you can get in Florida besides Key West. And I decided that that was going to be drivable. Keep in mind, plane tickets were $40 round trip at the time, but I thought the experience of being able to see all the states on the way there was going to be so much worth it. And I wanted to have a lot of bonding time with my friends before we went clubbing. So we drove to Miami. We're going to rate this one actually a -2 out of 10. The scale doesn't even go that low, but it's going all the way down to negative. Okay, we're in the red. I drove the entire way. All 23 hours. I didn't switch off with any of my friends at the time. I was in it to win it. And I wouldn't even fully blame them because I think at the time I was like, we're going to be switching the whole time. And then it just got to a point I didn't feel like moving from my driver's seat. So I kept driving until my feet were literally concrete, like they were slabs. And then I did all that driving for that trip to be actually the most traumatic thing I've ever been through. Like legitimately a living hell. I don't even think I can make a story time on that because it would get flagged in so many different areas. And then I drove all the way back home. Legitimately fighting for my life. Breathing heavy, had nothing to my name anymore. Legitimately on the verge of tears. And I drove that whole way back too. And I switched only once for an hour to get a quick nap in, and then I jumped right back into my driver's seat. Also rating it low too because all the states that I wanted to drive through, I've already been through before, so there was really no fucking point. But it's not a -10 because on the way there, we stopped in Georgia to go to Zaxby's, and don't make me eat alone. Don't make me eat alone. I fucking love Zaxby's. I'm not even going to get into it right now because it's going to get really fucking inappropriate, but I love you, Zaxby's, and God, I would do anything for you. I miss you, and it's not in my area. Please bring a Zaxby's in my area. So that's the only reason why it's not a -out of 10 because I was able to stop at Zaxby's not once but twice, and I love her. Number 3, we're going to place my whole New England random fall trip on there. So it was one of my best friend's birthdays at the time in Vermont, and I've never been to Vermont before, and I love fucking fall leaves. Sounds like a perfect time. So granted, I looked up flights I remember for this time because I was like, okay, I kind of want to like, you know, cool off in my car a little bit. Like she is mouth fucking breathing, tires are falling off. Like I don't know how much more I can do to fit. When I would open my door, it would make the loudest fucking creaking voice. My AC didn't work anymore. Like it was so much going on. And for some reason, Vermont flights were $800 round trip. We can do 800 miles in the car. Pack it up, y'all. I'm actually gonna rate this one, I'm gonna rate this one a 9 out of 10. A 9 solely on the fact that Vermont was so fucking pretty, and also like we saw all of New England during the fall. But we're not gonna give it a 10 because I did some unnecessary things during that trip, such as but not limited to. So the way there, we proceeded to stop in every fucking state and every city we could. So the drive was literally 6 hours to get to Vermont. It turned into, I'm not kidding, a 20-hour drive because me and Earth, I've talked about her in another story, but we decided that we wanted to see every little thing with our peepers. And then we had the birthday girl and the birthday girl's girlfriend in the back. And they wanted to see stuff too, like they were very excited, but they weren't like as down as me and Earth were. We were like, we need pictures in every fucking like Instagram baddies gone wrong, but like we're not baddies, we're just cracked out and we want pictures of everything for highlights. So I remember we literally woke up at 4 in the fucking morning. Everybody else going on this cabin trip, like there were like probably 20 people. They proceeded to all wake up. I think they all left at 2 p.m. We left at 4 in the morning. So remember the first place we stopped at was New York, and then we went to Connecticut after, then Massachusetts, then straight into New Hampshire. Weren't even supposed to stop in New Hampshire, but we were right, the way we were going to Vermont, it was right on the line of New Hampshire. I don't know how to describe it, like the highway was this way and New Hampshire's line was like here, and we weren't supposed to touch New Hampshire. And basically at this point it was fucking 8 p.m. and we've been driving for 14 fucking hours because we were stopping in every fucking city for an hour. And basically the birthday girl and the birthday girl's girlfriend were like, let's just get to Vermont at this point. After Massachusetts, they like had to lay down the law and they were like, okay, like let's lock in. And me and Earth were like, but New Hampshire, and they were like, but take us to the cabin. So we said, okay, like perfect. It hit 8 p.m. They were asleep in the back. I look at Earth and I was like, okay, like if I just take this one exit, like it will put us in New Hampshire for like 5 minutes. Like, do we just do it to say we've been in New Hampshire? I look at Earth, it's 2 dumb bitches saying exactly, so we both say exactly. We strained in New Hampshire for 5 minutes. They end up waking up and they were like, I knew you guys were up to some fucking shit. We end up using the bathroom and we get back in the car, my instant karma hit. I got pulled over, legitimately pulled out and got pulled over and got about a $400 ticket in New Hampshire. So that's the proof I've been to fucking New Hampshire before. And then on the way home, it was just going to be me and Earth, which is a very dangerous combination. So what we proceeded to do was plan that we were going to leave really fucking early. And where were we going to go? We were going to go north, actually, instead of going back home. We were going to go to Maine for an hour. And we did that, and we went to fucking Maine. And then also on the way home, we hit Rhode Island. We hit Rhode Island at 9 o'clock at night. Definitely a 9 out of 10 because the memories were so fucking good. Was it ridiculous and fucking insane thinking about it? Yes. Was my car put through so much turmoil? Yes. Was it fun? Yeah. Even though me and Earth actually almost got in the middle of Rhode Island, Providence to be exact, at 9 p.m. The next one I'm gonna do is South Carolina / Tennessee. Now, this is gonna sound very ignorant and stupid of me. I couldn't even process that South Carolina and Tennessee would be in the same area or hippodrome. I don't even know, the same area. Until I decided to go visit one of my best fucking friends from childhood who recently moved to South Carolina at the time. Now, granted, she was, all that I thought about South Carolina, I was okay, like Myrtle Beach, like Charleston, like beach. No, baby. There was no beach. She was on the very, very, very east side of South Carolina, which I didn't process that South Carolina even had a fucking east side. I was okay, it's all just fucking beach. So I was like, yeah, girl, I'm gonna visit you for St. Patrick's Day. Like, it's gonna be so fucking cool. And I don't regret visiting her. Like, I love her to death. Like, I haven't seen her in so fucking long. And at this time, I haven't seen her in a while. But we're gonna have to rate this one. We're gonna have to rate it a 6 out of 10 solely because I was by myself, and that drive to South Carolina was about 9 fucking hours. Like, she was fully as east as you could be in fucking South Carolina, and I got confused. I thought it was gonna be like a 6-hour one. No. And also I was like, it's gonna be fine driving by myself. Driving with just me and my thoughts, not a good fucking combination. Literally the last 2 hours of the drive, like to get to her house, like I was speaking in Latin. Like I wasn't speaking English anymore. Also, it took me through Tennessee, which I was like, why am I in fucking Tennessee? It should go North Carolina, South Carolina. How the fuck did I end up in Tennessee? But I was in the middle of Tennessee by myself. But also gonna give the full 6 fucking, because it was miserable being by myself, but the fucking drive was so fucking perfect. Like, honestly, one of the most scenic fucking drives I've been on. Like, the mountains were fucking insane. It was gorgeous. But being by myself and that drive home, I almost fell asleep. Not a good combination. The last one we're gonna do for right now is gonna be Outer Banks. And honestly, I'm gonna give Outer Banks a 10 out of 10. Now, this was the first time I was driving to Outer Banks at this point, and it was me and one of my best friends. I'm gonna call her birthday girl once again. It wasn't her birthday at the time, but it was the birthday one from Vermont. But we were going in a group. It was like 2 and 2, so it was 4. What the fuck am I talking? But like, it was 4 people going, or actually it was 5. But one already lived in North Carolina, and the rest of us are from Maryland. So we were taking 2 cars for whatever fucking reason. So it was me and birthday girl, and then it was my other 2 friends driving down at the same time. And honestly, this was after like Miami and all the fucking long drives I've done before. This felt like genuinely a walk in the fucking park. I think it was like 5 hours to get down. Traffic was not bad at all, and the drive was just so fucking vibe. Like, literally, birthday girl fell asleep for a while, and like I was just vibing. Like, I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I loved it. Drive was fucking easy. It was seamless. Outer Banks was so fucking cute. And then the drive home, that's when, because I can't process that a vacation's end. So I remember I looked at birthday girl and I was like, honestly, you know where I really want to go for fall? I want to go to Vermont. And that's when Vermont got planned. So honestly, a 10 out of 10 all fucking around. And my car was so peaceful at the time. It had AC. It had everything I needed. Let me know if you want to hear more, because I've been to a bunch of more fucking places where my car should not have been. Should have been a flight.
Hello, my perfect, beautiful baby angels. Let's talk about the law of detachment. The law of detachment is the single greatest concept that I adopted and started to use in my life when I was going through my terrible divorce and when I went through my terrible long-term relationship breakup a year ago. And I have to tell you, it is a game changer. The law of detachment is a concept which states that you don't need to grip onto things, people, concepts, ideas, or dreams in order to achieve them. It's the belief that what's meant for you will not require you to grip it for you to make it stay. And the law of detachment doesn't mean that you don't care or that you're cold. It just means that you've got range. It means that basically no matter what, who comes or goes, enters or exits your life, you are that girl. And if you have yourself and you have your own back, you will always be okay, babe. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be with someone because you need them. You want to be with someone because you want them. But that means that by wanting someone, you don't need them. And therefore, if they exit out of your life, you're totally fine, girlie. You are surviving, you're thriving. No matter what, whoever enters your bubble disrupts your peace, you can boot them out and you will be just fine. You don't need anybody. You choose who gets to be in your life. If they leave, fine, bye, dos vidaños. Didn't need you anyways. You're good. If you decide to leave, you're also good. You were a baddie when they entered the chat, and you will be a baddie whenever they log out, babe. Love is a choice, not a survival mechanism. And this applies to not just relationships, but also friendships, casual relationships, your family, the things that you're going for in your life, your job, your career, everything. Attachment says, I cannot live without you or this thing. Detachment says, I could, I am just choosing not to right now. The moment you realize that you don't need anyone and that you at any point in time could walk away, or that person could walk away, that you are still powerful, that makes you untouchable. Become so obsessed with yourself that you don't care if someone leaves, because you're like, wait, but the coolest person I know is me. The person that I'm the most obsessed with is me. I still got me, so like, I'm good either way. Please take it from me as somebody that did not always feel like this. I have not always been in my truest baddie form. Even baddies get saddies, y'all. And I have definitely gone through times where I thought that I needed somebody and I needed to try to claw my way into keeping them in my life, until I really, really started following the law of detachment and understanding that all of my energy should be on myself.
I need to fill my cup so much that the overflow goes and will rain on everybody else. And that's how they can get my energy. Because at the end of the day, you need to call back your energy when they have detached. Remember that you're good, you are powerful, you are untouchable. I promise you, if there's a moment in your life, and it could be right now, that you don't feel this way, the moment you start centering yourself and realizing that you got you, baby, I promise you will start thriving and opportunities and better people will be coming into your life. I see you. I love you. I am here for you. I am so proud of all of you that are on this journey of self-fulfillment and love. And if you are still struggling or you are dealing with a situation that is hurtful, I am always here for you. My DMs are always open. I have my Big Kitty Ask segment still, so if y'all need advice or help, please DM me. I'm always here for you. I love this community so much, and I love you all. Big hug and big kiss.
Good morning. I'm going to be answering any questions that I've gotten so far about the minoxidil. I mean, everybody pretty much knows about Babe Lash, so I haven't gotten any questions about that one. But the minoxidil, I've gotten a ton of questions about. Let's go ahead and start off with if I've seen any results. No, it's only been 7 days. I do want to mention that I was using just a standard generic Spring Valley bottle of biotin for almost a year before I started looking into Nutrafol and minoxidil. So I do credit any growth that I've seen so far to the biotin and maybe the 2 months worth of Nutrafol. Really, any type of product like biotin, like minoxidil, like Nutrafol, really anything like that, you need to at least give it 3 months. Now, one of the first questions that I'm going to answer that I've been getting a lot is, why did I choose the foam instead of the liquid? And that is because the liquid, I was told after, watching several reviews on it, and my dermatologist told me the same thing, that the liquid is not recommended because there are so many possible issues with it. One of them being, a very dried out scalp, and I cannot do that. Everyone on TikTok, when I was watching reviews, was saying that they would definitely prefer the foam for the same reason. Number two, it drips. So if you have animals, which of course I will touch on that one in a second, but if you have animals, the liquid is not a good idea at all, because that is the one that takes hours to dry. And it could possibly, there's a higher possibility of it leaking onto things or dripping onto things. I've also been asked a lot how much I spent on both the Nutrafol and the minoxidil, because no, I did not get sent either one of them. The Nutrafol was $88. I know that that is a high price point. I understand. For me, I was so desperate because my hair was falling out so badly and I was really starting to have bald spots in the back of my head that I had to. There was no way. I just started budgeting the Nutrafol into my budget, almost like a normal bill. The minoxidil, I got 2 of these. This is a 1 month supply right here. And I got a 2 month supply off of the TikTok shop. This is the Kirkland's brand for less than $30. And I kind of wish that I would have gotten the 3 month supply, but I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. So I got the 2 month, and now when I go to refill, I'm going to get the 3 to 4 month supply. Another question I've been asked is, how does it make my hair feel after applying? If you watch my first video, my minoxidil day 1 video, please do not use that video as an example of how you're supposed to apply it, because I put way too much, and that obviously made my hair feel kind of like I put product in it to slick it back. You do not have to apply a lot of this. I'm going to apply it at the end just to show you guys what I do with it. It is very easy to apply, but with the foam especially, you only need to put a couple little dots on the areas that you want to see the growth. The next question, and this one's funny because a lot of you were asking, and then a lot of you were demanding that I don't do minoxidil at all unless it's in the pill form, because then I'm putting Dexter's life at risk. First of all, don't tell me what to do. Second of all, if you think that I don't check everything that could possibly hurt Dexter before it comes into my home, you're crazy. I have not had so much as one singular grape in my home in over 3 years, because I heavily value Dexter's life and the possibility of him getting that grape into his system. So, of course, that was one of the things that I brought up to my dermatologist, and she recommended the foam. because she doesn't recommend the pill. The pill is one that has a very high possibility of giving you the unwanted hair growth everywhere. And unless I take it like whipped cream, pry Dexter's mouth open, and squirt this into his mouth, he's gonna be fine. Next question was, how long does it take the minoxidil to dry? I kind of just touched on this, but the foam for me, if you apply the amount that you're about to see me apply when I am done putting on my makeup, I kid you not, it takes maybe an hour. And that's playing it super safe. I'll put it on before it's my time to go into the living room and just like chill with Dexter and watch, you know, our shows. And I would say that I sit there for about an hour before I feel comfortable enough to go to bed. But again, it also, you know, it's dependent on how much you apply, and you don't have to apply a lot. So you'll see how much I apply at the end of the video. Next question I was asked is, can you apply heat to your hair with minoxidil? You can to your ends, but it is highly discouraged to apply heat to the minoxidil, like the part of your hair that the minoxidil is actually touching. And it is also discouraged to blow dry your hair. Like with the liquid, I think that you can put it on wet hair. With the foam, it is recommended to put it on a clean, dry scalp. And it specifically says do not blow dry because it will decrease the effects. And I'm not trying to do that. So yeah, I don't apply any heat. A lot of the time I will style my hair before putting the minoxidil in, which is what I think I may do today. I'm not sure, but normally that's what I do. Another question I was asked is, how much do I apply the minoxidil per day? Twice a day. It says that at most you just need to do it twice a day. So that's what I do because this is the very beginning stages. Now, when I do start getting the results that I want fully, because you do have to take minoxidil, not take it, but well, yeah, I mean, if you're on the pill too, you do have to apply topical minoxidil for the rest of your life if you want to keep the results. I fully knew that when I first started. I don't care, you know, you got to keep going to the gym and eating right to maintain abs. So it's the same thing with, you know, anything that I'm trying to do for my hair or my lashes. So once I get to that point where I see the results that I want, I'll probably cut it down to maybe twice every other day. But for right now, I apply it twice. I apply it in the morning and I apply it at night. I also added hair oiling into my hair routine. I'm going to oil my hair once a week. And if you are interested in how I oil my hair, what oils I use, I will have to do a whole separate video on that because this video is already getting really long and that one is going to need its whole like own video. So please let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that. I can explain everything there. But if you guys don't let me know in the comments that you want it, I'm just going to assume that you don't. So please let me know in the comments. I also did mention in my video yesterday that I have decided as well, for the betterment of my hair, to go back blonde. And I know that that sounds crazy, right? When I started getting very intensely into this hair growth journey, I started going back into my pictures and I was trying to kind of figure out when my hair started breaking the worst, that, you know, it was to the point I was noticing the breakage. And unfortunately, it was actually when I started dyeing my hair black. And I was very upset about that because I'd already box dyed my hair. Like, I've been doing this black for a little less than a year, but that's still a lot. I try not to touch it up a lot, but I mean, it's still black box dye. And I realized that any sort of color that I have to touch up like once a month, and it's touching my roots, which we all know, if you have black hair, like artificial black hair, you already know it's going to be like 2 weeks and then you're starting to look bald because your roots are coming in, right? And my filler color was red, so then I'll have like hot roots coming in, right? You have to touch it up a lot. And I was starting to realize the amount of shed that I was having after I would touch up my hair. I have used several different box dyes. I'm not going to go to a salon to have them dye my hair one solid color when I can do that at home. But I also do not need to be coloring my hair with any color that's going to touch my roots. Okay, let me show you how I apply my minoxidil. It is very quick. I just start at the middle of my part, and see I put a little bit too much there. So I just put 2 dots, and I will just drag it along my part. You don't have to do this like perfectly clean. See, some just dripped, I think. So I just pat, and then I part over wherever I want. I pull the hair like this, and then I will add more. See, that's about how much you need right there. Very, very small amount. Remember, this whole bottle right here is a 1 month supply. So they're trying to tell you you don't need a lot. The more you add, it does not equal the more or the quicker or more results. I normally will pull it all the way to right above my ear, because another reason that I noticed that my hair started breaking the worst that it had ever been breaking was because I had hand-tied extensions in my hair, and I will absolutely never get those again. I will never get extensions that cannot be removed nightly and in the morning. Like, I'm not ever going to get extensions that are made to stay in my hair, because this is where the majority of my like tension baldness was happening. And of course, coincidentally, that's where the extensions were tied in. All right, so my hair looks crazy right now. I already know, but it's because I have not rubbed it in yet. So I take a little bit more, and I will put the tiniest amount just along my hairline as well. And I will rub that in. Oh, that was too much. I will rub that in to my hairline. And then I will just start to massage it into my hair. Massaging your scalp is also really good for blood circulation, which then stimulates hair growth. So this always feels really nice. And I will just massage this in until my little heart is happy. And that's pretty much it. Also, go wash your hands after. Okay, I've got to wait for this to dry. I've got to get ready for work. That was my minoxidil day 7 update. And if you have any more questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments. And I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. Bye.